Hey, it's Robert from Highman ZXC. I'm trying this again. What I would do with Austin Radio and try to salvage this mess. Okay, first off, 1023, the beat needs to go. It's not doing good in the ratings. They need to either flip back to Z102, classic rock, or they need to try maybe classic alternative, or what they could do is move the 80 station from the fake 103.1, shut that thing down because it's interfering with a lot of stations. Move the 80 station, put some new wave, take out a lot of the pop music on there. We have enough pop stuff on the FM dial anyway, and have it be like a KNAC station on 102.3. I'm sure that will do really well. 101X needs to go classic alternative. They're not doing good in the ratings either. These stations are like at 1.0s, 1.2s on the ratings. I looked at the ratings on Radio Insight, so I'm just figuring, yeah, there needs to be some damage control. We need to get rid of 97.5 translator. That is interfering massively with KWTX. I called KWTX to try to let them know, and they say, we can't do anything about it. We don't serve that area. Could have fooled me, because I've listened to 97.5 and even had it on my presets since 1994 up until 2016. Yeah, from 1994 to 2016, I was able to get 97.5 almost local signal grade in Austin, Texas. KWTX signal ends at Highland Mall. It does not end north of Georgetown. You know those DVU contours, those circle things that they show on those maps? They don't really register what the real signal shows. It's just the FCC's excuse for covering signals up. And also, KHFI is scared of 97.5, so they cover it up with a phony station that no one's going to listen to. You need to get that station just needs to go. There's nothing salvaging that station. KWTX covers Austin. I get that thing in Cedar Park fighting with the Austin station. Okay. 101X needs to go classic alternative. 102.3 needs to probably go new wave, bring back Z102, or probably try to resurrect Jammin' 105.9. Play a lot less Michael Jackson. My God, towards the end of Jammin' 105.9's life, they play like nothing but Michael Jackson. You need to mix things up. Radio needs to go back to being experimental. We need to bring uniqueness back to the dial. Take a break from Elton John and Billy Joel and Bon Jovi and play something different. I would like to bring Oldies 103 back, but that's never going to come back. The reason why Bob FM is number one, well, it's number two right now because Magic 95.5 had its Christmas ratings. The reason why Bob FM is usually number one, not because they're fantastic, but because they're slightly more unique than everyone else. They're not exactly unique. They're mainly just kind of a pop station, kind of a classic hit station. Okay. The fake 105.3 needs to go. We already got rid of the first fake 105.3 that was owned by Intercom, which is now Odyssey. I'm going to just call it Intercom because it was massively interfering with Magic 105.3's signal. And then Bob Cole, I don't know what he did, but he managed to get the fake 105.3 back on the air. That thing needs to go. No one's listening to it. The ratings are not that good for that signal anyway. 103.1 needs to go. That thing is my God, I don't even know it's interference city on 103.1. There's a 103.1 LP in Dripping Springs, a 103.1 LP in San Marcos, which I don't even think that's even on the air. I'm not sure. Tell me in the comments. And there's a 103.1 translator in New Braunfels. and they're all interfering with 103.1 Kiss FM in Temple. That 103.1 in Temple needs to get a better signal to defend itself. See, these stations need to stand up for themselves and stop being afraid of the FCC. They need to, hello there. These stations like KRXT, they need to complain to the FCC. They need to make their point across. The fact that Bob Cole needs lawyers to justify his translators, that's some red flags that he deep down knows that these translators are interfering with real stations, and he has to hire good lawyers to try to keep them on the air. Yeah. What else? 93.3 needs to go. We need to flip the format, not shut the tower down. No. We need to flip Lucy back to either Mega. I think Jay Michaels was trolling us by putting Mega on 102.7 and making it Pop in Espanol. He was just trolling us. He said, and I quote, "Dance doesn't really exist anymore." And he claims radio is just a business. He doesn't think of it as a hobby. He doesn't think of it as anything fun. And I commented and said, no, and he just says it's a business. He sounds like a robot. And all he talks about is entertainment gossip, and it's like being on the E network. We're on the radio station. You're supposed to be a music station. We need to get all that stuff, all that Gossip Girl stuff off the dial and go back to playing music. I miss Mega 93.3. I wish I got to know B93. I heard that was like the number one station in Austin. Everyone listened to B93. It was so cool. KVTS with the great Mike Butts and Jose Brown, and yeah, it's amazing. And now it's just like, oh my God, a Valley Girl type station. I wish we can get rid of Lucy. We already have Bob FM. They're taking numbers from Bob FM, and they're owned by the same company. My goodness, you do not go up against your own station. Mix tried that once when they first debuted in 1995. They went after Magic 95.5, their own station, and it did not work. So yeah. What else? I would love to get rid of EMF. I would love to get rid of 92.1, 92.5. I would love to just move 92.5 to 92.7, shut off 92.1 out of Hutto, and 92.9 translator, move 92.5 to 92.7, take 92.3 out of Temple, move it to 92.1, and shut off 91.9 out of Dripping Springs, and give KNRG 92.3 out of LaGrange a better signal. They deserve a better signal. I'm not a hugest fan of country, but I feel so sorry for KRNH and Kerrville and 92.3 KNRG and I was going to say in Austin, but in LaGrange. It could be a secret move-in, I bet. And that 96.3, that sign-in, that fake 96.3 that violated KGIDI Giddings, they're using the KJFK call letters in Llano. So what they can do is convert the translator by moving the Llano station, Llano, Llano, Lano, whatever you want to call it. This is a long video. I'm at 9 minutes. Sorry. They can move the Llano station to the Bergstrom Towers and probably cover a lot of ground. Yes, you do have to worry about KSCS out of Dallas, but it is far. I think it's far enough south. If you're worried about the interference, you could possibly move it a little bit further south. Would you have to worry about KXXM? It's 96.1. I'm sure you could do some adjusting. Once again, you could convert that station, the 96.3. If you could have a 93.3 and a 93.7 covering Austin, 93.7 in Austin, 93.3 went back to the Bergstrom Towers where they belong. I hope they did. I'm going to have to investigate. I'm going to have to call them and ask them if they went back to the Bergstrom Towers where they belong. What were they thinking? They moved from their beautiful 1,926-foot tower running a full 100,000 watts and went to only a 200-foot tower running 50,000 watts. Did they think that was going to go down well? They were too busy being valley girls, I guess, and gossiping to worry about quality of their signal. Oh my God, that was a mistake. I looked on the FCC data. That 200-foot tower running only 50,000 watts got canceled. Yeah, I'm glad that happened. And if they snuck back on that 200-foot tower, I need to give them a visit. They need to bring back Mega, they should call themselves B93. Just say B93 is back playing all the hits. That would get all the crowds going. You need to just bring B93 back. Take out the lecturing. We want B93 back on 93.3. I want to be able to experience B93. I wish we can get Mike Butts back, Jose Brown back. That would be fantastic. What else? Magic 95.5 needs to go back to playing mellow rock. They're all over the place. Although they were number one just because they were playing Christmas music, just because they did something different. That's the reason why they made it to number one, because they did something different. But they went back to their train wreck Bob FM wannabe station format. I don't think anyone really has any formats anymore. It's sad. We need to bring radio back to being experimental again, because it's pathetic right now. The style is suffocating under HD hash and translators and just stations that are virtue signaling. And I wish we can get back jamming 105.9 from EMF. 107.7, what would I do with that? It's in Georgetown, so it's never going to get really good ratings. 107.1, I think I would leave as B, as La Zeta, unless you want to just put KGSR surprisingly back on 107.1. I'm trying to think of something else. Yeah, so I think everything else is fine. That fake 106.5 that's interfering with KAJZ in Llano, that smooth jazz station, heaven forbid we have a smooth jazz station, because that's wrong, thank you. As Long Island 495 once said, is smooth jazz a cuss word now? Yeah, take down that station. They hung up the phone on me. I remember they hung up the phone on me because they didn't want to admit that they were interfering with KJZ. Brian King, he called me a godsend when I called his station in Llano. He was glad that someone actually acknowledged that someone was interfering with his signal. I wish I can get someone to take down that K293 BF Comanche Trail. I don't even know where Comanche Trail is located. So in any case, yeah, talk to you guys later. This video is up to 13 minutes. It's just there's so much of a mess in Austin. It's insane. Austin started becoming a mess around 2005, 2006. So with the translators and everyone sounding the exact same because people got too corporatized and too safe and too afraid to experiment. Well, I'll talk to you guys later while I reach the 14-minute mark. I'm Robert from Highman ZXC. We'll see what, if anything, that I suggested comes true. Talk to you guys later.